Hello everyone, good evening. I am Anmol Jha and I'm the management lead at GDSC IGDTUW. GDSC IGDTUW is proud to announce that we are hosting Devcation. It is a week-long technical festival that celebrates diversity in the Tech for Good domain. This year for Devcation, we have two tracks, Design and Solve track and Hack and Solve track. The hacking period for both the tracks has already begun. This technical fiesta doesn't end here. We have too many events, ideating solutions and logo making to ensure that you know how to ideate, brand, and holistically develop and build your products. Today, we are organizing an exciting bootcamp in partnership with OpenWeaver on using AI for good health and well-being. OpenWeaver is a SaaS company led by experienced professionals with global technology and multi-industry experience. They are committed to enhancing the development techniques and promoting the creation of applications that can improve digital scaling around the world. OpenWeaver also has a thriving community of students and developers that support upskilling and application development. Today, we have with us Ms. Pooja Agarwal. She is our guest speaker for the day, who is a senior developer advocate at OpenWeaver. She is a knowledgeable and passionate speaker who enjoys exploring and emerging technologies through open source platforms. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you, Anmol, for that introduction, and welcome everyone for today's session. I hope you guys are excited and would be more than happy to not use artificial intelligence just for health and well-being, but many other sustainable goals around the UN sustainable goals that you would like to work on. So to begin, we would actually be using a course page for which the link is present in the description. So you can go ahead and check the link as of now. And so my agenda for today would be that we will first talk about the problem discussion, that why this problem is a good enough problem to be tackled with artificial intelligence, and then we'll quickly go into developing this solution with Kandi, which is an interesting open source tool that will help you not just build this solution but also do multiple other things. I'm going to discuss about that as well. And then the third thing, how you can submit a solution kit of your own for this hackathon using Kandi. So this will be our three key aspects that I am going to discuss with you. So before we go ahead and actually discuss the concepts, we will first want you to have a look at the page which is present in the description. That will help you set up the solution kit for today's session. So this is the page, the link for which is present in the description. Go ahead and click on it. This will take you to this community page on OpenViewer community. And it briefly discusses the learning objectives as well as how you can go ahead and follow through in case you would like to watch this session, anytime once again. So to be able to set up the kit, go ahead and click on the Candy One Click Kit button. This will take you to a kit page wherein we'll have our solution source. I'll click this one click installer. This will download a zip file, a zip folder. I'll check my local machine. So here is my kit installer. I'll just extract all the contents of this folder. Within this, I'll have a batch file. So this batch file is basically going to set up all the required dependencies directly onto my system. I don't need to separately install the different libraries. I won't need to install the different if you in case you would want to work around a specific IDE, then that is something that you may have to install. But all the things would automatically get downloaded with this one-click install kit. So let this setup happen onto your systems, and as you do, you can just minimize the screen and go ahead with our session for today. So just in case, if you would like me to repeat this setup, let me know in the comments. I'll repeat how you can set this setup. It's a simple extract all option and double clicking the batch file. Okay. So the important thing is that breast cancer has been, as mentioned by IARC and World Health Organization, This was the last stats that they mentioned around the year 2020, where if there were more than 2 million cases of both men and women suffering from cancer, and not just something that affects a certain geography or affects only women, but if it affects people all around the world. So we saw that 1 in 8 women in the US were diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. In fact, there were multiple deaths, around hundreds, which were caused by breast cancer and late detection of it. So we won't say that AI can cure it, but AI can help augment and basically help with early stage detection of breast cancer. And today we would want to actually focus and emphasize how artificial intelligence can help you deal with this issue. So we know that machine learning can be categorized into supervised as well as unsupervised. And today we are focused on the classification category of problem for this breast cancer prediction. Whether a certain person for whom we are having, say, or a multiple set of people for whom we are having the different features or the different characteristics, whether we can classify based on those characteristics that a person or a women may have or may not have, you know cancer. So that is how AI can help with early stage detection and prevent and start the diagnose as early as possible. So what are we going to use here? We are going to work around with support vector machines in this problem. And to briefly talk to you about, there are multiple algorithms that you can apply when you want to deal with a problem. But how do you choose the best one? So depending on the problem category that you're working around with, we choose an algorithm. There is a complete research that is based that how support vector machines can help make a better decision for an early stage detection of breast cancer. How do we work around with this algorithm? We basically try to draw a best fit line or a decision boundary and separate or segregate the two. Currently we are talking about whether there's two classes, whether there is, whether a tumor is cancerous or is it non-cancerous. So these are the two classes. So supposedly for the same problem, I want to classify it either into class A, which is it's cancerous, and class B, which is non-cancerous. So based on the graph, if we see that there are multiple points and there is this best fit line, your best fit line or the decision line, which is your maximum margin hyperplane. So we try to draw this maximum margin hyperplane with the help of support vectors. This algorithm basically tries to get to the get to one of the classes, and within that particular class, whichever vector lies at the extreme, it tries to draw a margin. Let's say we say that those square blue or the purple points lie at the one end of your decision boundary, and the pink circles, they points or the cancerous, lie on the other end of the boundary. So we can't just draw any line. We just want to make, or we just want that the different based on the different characteristics, we are able to separate them with the maximum boundary or the maximum margin. So we try this with the help of these support vectors belonging to both the classes. We try to draw a positive hyperplane as well as a negative hyperplane in a manner that the maximum margin hyperplane has equidistant and lies from both the classes with the maximum margin. So that is our intention behind using support vector, and the kind of results that support vector was able to achieve, the kind of accuracy that support vector was able to achieve, was significantly good enough that we have used it in today's use case to solve or say state that it was able to predict, or it was able to say that we are whether a certain based on a certain set of feature, a person is having a tumor which is cancerous or non-cancerous. So we'll be using our Sklearn to implement this solution and train our model, and then we'll try to discuss what predictions can help you classify, or I would say that whether the solution is viable enough using artificial intelligence. So we'll quickly move into our solution. But before that, I quickly also want to talk to you about how open source can help you develop your solution very, very quickly. So the interesting part is that whatever we are working around here with is all open source tools, everything that is freely available, and anyone of like all of us can use it as per our requirement. And the thing is, whenever we are working around with open source tools, we need to check for four key considerations at OpenBeaver. This is something that we provide with every library, every repository that you may find on an open source platform. Why these are essential? Supposedly, I'm choosing a certain library. I should be able to know whether I'll be able to get a decent support with that repository. Support in terms of the different open source developers and communities which are backing it. Talking about security, wherein whether that library is secure enough, and then quality is also something that is backed by when you have a great support as well as security, that repo or library is highly qualitative. So beyond these three parameters, there is a very important parameter called license. We as students may not concentrate on it, or once you get into commercial application development, supposedly we talk about reuse of repositories. It is very important that when you are picking something and when you are reusing something, you check the license agreement with that particular code set, with that particular repository or library. It should be a permissive license, permissive, and it should have the license for you to create, modify, and let's say you want to use the same for commercial purpose further. So that is something that you should concentrate on as students. I'll tell you how you can check the same on the platform that we are going to, the product kandi that we are going to use to build up this solution. So let's get into our solution, or I would say the Jupyter notebook. After you have successfully, I'll be sharing my screen. And after you have successfully downloaded the kit, it should give you this Jupyter notebook after you have said yes to it. Just in case you would like to get a look at it, this is going to be your Jupyter notebook. This is going to be your command line. You just have to say yes, and the Jupyter notebook should open for you. As this Jupyter notebook will open for you, you would see that the first step that we follow here is importing essential libraries. I hope my screen is visible. Great, good enough. So yes, the first step is that we import the essential libraries. And as I mentioned, we are using the standard Sklearn. So Sklearn is a complete framework which not just has data sets, but it also has all your algorithms, your machine learning, deep learning algorithms for you to experiment and work around with. You just have to import them into your IDE. You just have to import them essentially in the IDE that you're working in. So first of all, we have imported our from Sklearn, we have imported our data sets. Further, we want to do a model selection. Why we are doing it? Whenever we are saying we are working on a machine learning or a deep learning model, you need to train it and then you need to test it, right? You need, the step one is you need to train the model and then you need to test the trained model is able to work as per your requirement or not. So we import those essential libraries. And further, we have our SVM, your support vector machine algorithm, that we would like to implement today. And then we also would like to have some metrics that are able to justify how well our model was able to perform. So these are the first essential four imports that we have done. Further, we have, from the datasets that we had imported, we are successfully loading a toy dataset for breast cancer. So this is available already in Sklearn. And then we are loading it into this cancer variable. And then further, after I have just loaded my dataset, I want to check and explore my dataset, what it exactly has. So this is a toy dataset. It has your 13 features. So when we say 13 features, this mean radius, mean texture, parameter, area, smoothness, compactness, concavity, etc. Right? These are the different parameters that are involved in stating at the end of the, at the end goal is whether the cancer is malignant or benign. So when we go for these terminologies, malignant or benign, We malignant is it's a cancerous one, and benign is it's non-cancerous. So basically, we want to, based on these 13 different features, we want to identify what are our output or target features, whether the cancer is whether it is malignant or benign. So we just explored what are the different features that are available, and then based on those features, we also saw what are the target variables that are available to us. Once we have understood our data set, then we further go into the aspect of your training and testing this data set. So for that, we use the train test split, which we had earlier imported here. And then within this, we have multiple parameters. You have multiple parameters, as in you first feed it with your data, then you feed it with what all, based on this data, what is the expected output, which is your target. And further, you mention the split, how you would like to split it. Like 70, with this 30% split, we are clearly mentioning that 70% is kept for training, and the remaining 30% we are keeping for testing. So good thumb of rule is either it is a 70/30, it's a 75/25 split, depending on what data set you are working on and what is the behavior of the data set. You try to give maximum, or you try to give a major portion of your data set for training and the remaining for testing. So based on that, we try to give this test size. Further, this is another parameter, which is random state, which actually tries to randomize the way in which the split is happening over the data set. So that is also something which is one of the parameters that may sometimes help you get a better accuracy. After we followed, I'll just review once. We followed the step: first importing our essential libraries, second we want to check what data set we have, then we try to do exploratory data analysis. We just wanted to explore what our data set is. Then, after being briefly checking out the different features and the target labels, we get got into the training, testing, and splitting part. After we have done, or I would say after we have put in the different features within our train test split, now we want to generate, based on this, we want to generate our model. So we first, within our SVM, you have option for support vector regression, support vector classification. There is many such models available. So if you go ahead and check out here in detail, so you would see that within the sklearn.svm module, it includes the support vector machines. And I'll just, yeah. So you see with the tab, we see various other options within the support vector, based on which you can implement this and try and experiment what model would clearly work, or what model fits best on this data set. And then there are also different model parameters. So these are your essential parameters that you can tune. Okay, when you are working around a solution, you say that, okay, I just understood that support vector machines is something that I can choose, and within that also I have support vector classification, support vector regression, and many such multi models within it. Then after you have said that, okay, support vector classification is something that I would like to go ahead with, you can see that these are your hyperparameters. Many of them which are mentioned here. C is one of the hyperparameter, kernel is there, degree, gamma. So you don't have to like get a bit overwhelmed with it. But these you can just check with shift and tab, get into this and actually see what parameters you can tune to make your model more and more efficient. So since this is something already pre-developed and a very simple and a very simple use case that we would want to showcase to you. Initially, we have set the kernel to linear, but let's say I saw that by default it was RBF. If you go ahead and we can check it again, this is RBF. So let's try and keep our kernel to the default value and see how it will behave. I would just have to rerun this cell. And similarly, after I have loaded my model into this CLF, I will now fit the model on my training and training data set. So I would say clf.fit and then use it to train the training sets. After this training is completed, let me rerun this. I am able to run my model. I would say fit my model on the data set. Further, next step is after you have fit the model, you have to go for the prediction. Now I want to see after I have done the training, test it with the remaining 30% data set, how well your model is performing. So even if we run and check the model for the testing, how do I say whether it has performed well or not? We go for the evaluation of the model. Evaluation of the model can be done with various parameters, various metrics. We had imported our essential metrics here. So once we have these from metrics, if you go ahead and check again, you can see that it just mentions that prints the value to a stream. Okay, it's giving about the print command. Let me just go and say tab here. So then these are the different metrics that you can use to say or classify how the model is working. So first of all, accuracy score is something that we all know is the most important one. Then we can go for various others: AUC, average precision score, balance accuracy score. Classification report is also a standard one that many of us use. We currently have tried to use accuracy score and implemented it on your white test and vibrate. So white test is your test data and the predicted output. Okay, and try to check what the accuracy is, since I'll have to rerun the model. And I see that based on support vector machines and within that support vector classification, since this is a binary classification problem, okay, we have two target variables, either it is malignant or benign. I see that the accuracy metrics when being mapped is somewhere around 92. So this is what we are getting with one of the kernel parameters that we have seen. Precision is somewhere around 89%. Recall is a good score of 1. And then there is this fourth metric, which is your confusion metric, which clearly shows 15. You know, these are the values in error. 13 values are in error. So I'll try to just help you quickly say, rather than RBF, if I use linear, and maybe I'll just run all the cells again quickly. We see that there is a huge increase just by changing the kernel parameter. So that will happen because the current data set that we are working on is a linear data set, and when the kernel is set to linear, it will highly increase the accuracy and reduce even the errors. There were 13 errors, but now we add on the confusion metric, so it is 4 plus 2, which is 6. Only 6 results are not correctly stated. So there are other parameters also that you can tinker with, which is your test size. You can go for 25% here, 0.25 and 20, and try and check if you can go beyond 96 or if you can remove the errors completely. So this is something that you can go ahead and work around with. After we have analyzed and worked around with this current solution, I would now be looking forward to some questions quickly on this if you have. And you can just post them in the comments. I can take them later, but would also want that we now discuss the second most important aspect that we were thinking to work with. So now we will move to the second part. I'll be sharing my screen for it and actually showcasing you the power of Kandi. So for this, you just have to go and log into kandi.openweaver.com. I'll just use an incognito window. And you'll see that kandi.openweaver.com, when you first log into it, the first step is you need to sign up. But before we discuss how you can sign up and set other things, I would like to tell how this is helpful. So how it can help you develop one of your solutions for the hackathon. Thing is, one interesting feature is you can search for interesting code snippets here directly, libraries as well as kits. Supposedly, we are working on sustainable solution today. So I would say sustainable technology. Give me something on sustainable technology and click hit find. And as I hit find, you would see that there are options for code snippets. So that could be something that you can go ahead and look. Another interesting thing is libraries. So I am here to look for interesting libraries or repositories that I can, work around with. You can directly pick, reuse the repositories that are available. Let me quickly show you how you can do that. If you see that the first option itself that is coming here is open sustainable technology. Let's go and see what is there in it. If you click it, you would see that the four essential features that I was talking about, support, quality, security, license, as well as reuse, are available with the kit. It'll state all these details that this is a 1400 star with the multiple forks that are there. It'll talk about that this is a decent repository. Quickly you can go and check the license. This is a Creative Commons license. This license is permissible. Whatever is permissible, you don't have any restrictions, least restrictions, and you can use them in most projects. That is also listed here. How do I get to the repository now? How do I get to the repository? You can see that there is this link that is available. You can copy it from here. Different ways in which you can copy. You can directly download this zip as a zip of GitHub. Whatever is comfortable, you go ahead and copy paste it and check it directly here, and you see that this open sustainable technology, I made a very simple search. It is giving me a complete list of such projects that are available here. I mean, there is vast category of wind, hydro, power. You can go ahead and check which one works around with for you. If you think you can just simply reuse, fork one of the solutions, make some interesting changes, and submit it as a solution, that is possible. We can again go back and see what are the other options that are available. So there is sanitation, which is one. There is this potato leaf disease detection. Looks a little interesting. We can go ahead and click this and also check the solution. So we see that this gives me complete IPYNB file. You may have to obviously tinker, download, and check around whether this code works good enough and what all changes you would like to make or you would like to just reuse it. But then the interesting thing is other information about this is not other information about this is not listed. But then you may pick many such solutions if you would like. So this is one interesting application that you can do. How you can showcase it in one of your results. So there is crop disease prediction as well. If you would like, you can just check, experiment, and see if any of these repositories are helpful for giving you ideas or suggestions as to how you can go ahead and build a sustainable solution of your own. So go and check. These are the data sets that are available, and I guess this should be your solution source. Yeah, this is the solution source that is available. So use Candy to go get ahead in your search. Quickly find there's something on 5G smart diabetes. There are very climate smart sustainable farming. So if you're looking for something in TypeScript, that is also possible. You can put a filter on language. You can say you want to look for only Python based projects. Go ahead, put this filter, say view results. It will give you only Python based projects. If you're looking for any other language, go ahead and just put the filter, use it for your benefit. So that's how Candy can help you explore interesting repositories. And not just this, you can also check snippets, codes if you would like. But apart from this is something which is going to make it very easy for you to develop a solution if you find the right solution source or a repository that can help you. But how do you submit your solution? The next most important thing is, how do you submit your solution? So for that, the thing that you have to do is you have to sign up. Okay, I have one of my logins. I've already signed up. Please get into the sign up. I'll just say sign in and just pick quick sign in from here. And as I sign in, I'll click on this MySpace. So when I click on this MySpace, this gives me a space where I can start working with my solution. So when I go into this MySpace, I click on my list, click on this new list, and this gives me an interface wherein I can just give a heading. Let's say the same solution that I just worked on, breast cancer prediction using AI, and then you just need to put in the right content. So say I've already prepared this for myself here. Whatever content I would like to paste, I can put it in this content editor box. I'll paste it here. I'll just try to indent it a little bit as per the requirement. Okay. And as I start adding, you may also add interesting images here. Supposedly, I'll pick an image from my system. Something that works. Maybe this image for now. And I just added an image as well. Also, if next thing is you just have to add a information on deployment. So click on this plus, go ahead and talk about what all you have in the kit. If you so deployment information is something that you may or may not add as students, but then discuss about what your kit is, right? So ours was a one click solution, but then you can mention that I've developed a solution which works around one of the sustainable goals in energy sustainability, and then how you have developed or what is this solution around. Say the potato or the crop disease prediction was one of the solutions that we found. So discuss a bit about it, give few pointers about it, and then talk about if we can actually use your kit, how we can put instructions on how your kit can be used. So supposedly any put some steps here, put some quick steps here, mention the steps that can help with the development. Further, you can actually go ahead and actually add that repository that I just mentioned on this search here. Supposedly, I want to go for, I'll just search under the GitHub name and go for the kit option. And look for adding it to this. Okay. Let's say I just add my Python basics. I just saved it. And then I again went into my MySpace in my items. Within the items, I'll be able to see my Python basics here at the bottom. I mean, I have just added multiple ones. Select that. And after you have selected it, I just want to move this. Okay. I just want to move it. This option is here to move it. And then you choose which list you would like to use. This is the one I was developing. Click here, say move. What would happen when you click again on this kit? Apart from whatever I had added before, I will start seeing this solution source within the kit. So this is a personal choice. If you would like that you want to upload your repository on GitHub and then sync it here, show it beautifully on this page. Then once you upload it on GitHub, it will start showing on Kandi. Just give it an hour or two. Okay, give it an hour or two, and then it will start showing. You just have to make search here, the right search with either your GitHub account or either the kit name. GitHub account name would be better. That will be easy for you to search it on Kandi. Add this here. Also add information on what all extra is present. So let's say I want to also add information about the environment. Okay, the development environment that I have used. So supposedly for that I'll just add one more block on content information. Scroll down Put that I am also discussing the development environment and simply search the development environment. Say VS Code. Let's go for this. And then add this VS Code if you would like. Tools for AI. If you would like, you can add this by Microsoft itself here. Again, the same process. Go to MySpace, choose this, select it, say move to, go to the my list, click here, say move. So just a simple way to be able to make your kit as good as possible. And then when I add the deployment instructions, okay, just adding them again, deployment environment here. When we add these here, one thing is essential. Use this save feature. When it is already doing an auto save, still, whenever you are doing a change, just click on this save so that it captures whatever changes you have made. Further, you can add tags like AI. So it is giving you, it belongs to artificial intelligence category. You want to put it like specifically under machine learning, add that tag. Predictive predictive analytics, you can add that tag, just add tag for better visibility. And then once you are done adding all these contents, you can also rearrange these. You can also rearrange these if you would like. You can rearrange these, and further just say publish as kit. Once you click on publish as kit, wait for a minute. This kit link will start showing on view your kit. So click on this view your kit, and this is how this kit will start showcasing here, and you can create one of your own like this. So important things to notice when you are creating this kit, it is not necessary that you have to showcase the repository or the solution source by adding it to GitHub and then adding it here the way I have told. You may also add links here. I You can upload it on Google Drive, add the link of the repository. You may simply add the link of the repository to your solution source within the deployment information. Sorry, so what's that? Add the link from the Google Drive that you have and add it in the instructions. Mention clearly that how this link can help me download the kit and how I'll just use this link, paste it here and say save. Okay. So yeah, mention it clearly exactly how you want whoever is using the kit, how they can go around with it. That's it. So we again go and save it and publish. Very important. Once you save, you have to republish your kit and again say view your kit. So this is how your kit is present. And then whatever way you would like, you can put it as a link here, Google Drive link or any other cloud platform from where the code can be accessible. And also make it more interesting by adding these libraries, repositories, or reference learning libraries or repos that you may think are good enough to showcase as a kit. So, with this, I try to explain how you can explore and bring out the power of Candy into your solution submission in the hackathon. So, we believe it should be clear. I am open to Q&A now. If you have any questions.
Hi, Pooja. So there is one question.
Generating model work, like how we can change it based on our ideas. Okay, so you can change if you would like to use the same solution, then I said you can tinker with the hyperparameters. You can change the entire algorithm as well if you would like, the entire model, and give a better accuracy. That is something you can do. Or say the crop disease prediction, if you go ahead and check out what algorithm they have used and what accuracy is present, how you can replace it with some say decision tree, or say you want to do linear regression. So there are multiple such very simple models already available that you can replace a current working solution with and showcase how you have made it a little better. Samrat, I hope that was helpful.
I am sure you have answered this doubt.
Okay.
We can wait for a
And
few other questions.
absolutely. And I would suggest that we also look, I mean, you can also look again and check how you can build a kit of your own. Okay. We have this another question from Saloni, that what are the best resources to learn ML from? So, if you go ahead and see the ML community, this has become so huge after especially the open AI's development of the chat GPT today, that there are multiple platforms that we can that I can speak and vouch for. But my suggestion would be go for say Skykit-learn. I just mentioned this framework even in today's session. Just say Skykit-learn on Google and go to the official website. Each and every import that we have made, the detailed description of each feature is present there, and how you can use it into your code is also present. So just go for the official website of Sklearn if you are just looking around for simple solutions that you would want to tinker with. If you would want to go beyond this, then you can go for ML resources with yeah, I'm just forgetting the name as of now. Uh, we can have yeah interesting resources with what's the name of that guy on Coursera. He's the most known course. Yeah, I just forgot forgot it as of now. Just search for ML course on Coursera, right? Machine learning. Andrew, yeah, Andrew Ng. Yes, I remember. So his is the course that everyone has to first go through. I mean, it's one of the most amazing resources. He's the guy also behind most of the machine learning community development as well. So that could be a more detailed, interesting course that you can go ahead with.
Thank you. Now, the next question is from Kamya. This is in two parts. So, she's asking of so many available algorithms, how do we choose which algorithm will suit our requirements best? And she's also
Okay.
given an example.
Spam mails, how would I know which algorithm will give me the best accuracy? So then this is a good question on spam filtration. You would want to check. So your spam filtration is again a binary classification problem. So naive bayes, if you are aware of the theory, so naive bayes helps with spam filtration pretty well based on the probability. Based on the mathematics that it has, based on the I would say, based on the capability that that model has, it tries to get you as close as possible to the spam being correctly classified as spam and non-spam messages correctly classified as non-spam. So how do you get around with this? You need to have a know-how of how the different algorithms work. You need to check what algorithm works best in the current, say, spam filtration works with the naive base because it works on probability distribution, and here you would require something similar.
Thank you. The
Kamya.
next question is from Ashwi. She's asking, can you suggest more suitable products like these which we can develop
Sustainable.
with the help of Kandi? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll also give you another search. I like to share screen for that and showcase you within the search itself. I hope I am on my screen and you guys are able to see. So I just will make a very very naive and basic search as sustainable, and let's see what it gives me here. Not just okay. So one was this. Okay, Lake City map country. Let's try and check. It has amazing stars. So then, how do you judge? What project even would you like to see? The interesting thing is you can see the stars. You can see the license directly here. It's permissive. Version is something you may not be concerned with. Python is the language. and the number of stars. The better the repository is, the higher is are its stars. Go ahead and click on it. And now when you see this page, I'll just quickly copy paste the link to it and check that this repository that we are seeing here, it is giving me a real time and historical visualization of the greenhouse gas intensity. That means the CO2 emissions, the real time visualization of the CO2 emissions because of electricity consumption. That is given here based on on the world geography. So this is also one of the interesting or a very simple visualization project where you can talk about how you can visualize the carbon emission and how much carbon is present. So this is one of the project which you can also check. So just put the right keywords and look for interesting projects, I would suggest. Then there is something on sustainable earth which is in Ruby. So if some of you are interested in Ruby, you may go ahead and check that as well. Okay, hope this was helpful.
We have another question from Saloni. She's asking, could you reflect on how to make ML deployment a little easier?
Okay. So when you are, Saloni, talking about the deployment, again, the suggestion is you can search for snippets on the platform itself. Let's say you can search for, I mean, we have the Candy kit. We gave you one of the kits. There are so many kits that are available. You can look for similar kits on Candy. I will have to share my screen again for that and showcase you how you can check more such solutions. You just click on explore. Anmol, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
You see, within the explore, we have one click kits. Okay. There are solution kits and guide kits. These are the three categories in which we have now kits in. Go ahead and check the one click solutions. So you have build AI powered or emoji detector. You have, these are all one click kits, like the kit that I just showcased. And since these are all open source reusable kits, this is not something that I'm saying, we are saying that you can't reuse these. Download one of these, click one of these. I look for this AI fake news detection. This is a very popular kit. We just go ahead and then just click it on the one click installer, let it download by extracting and then double clicking the batch file. Once it is set up, again your Jupyter notebook will open for you. Tinker with whatever code is available, make your changes, try, and then what is there, you don't have to start from scratch. When you work around with a kit which is already built for you, you don't have to start from scratch. Similarly, there were solutions on GitHub, so you can clone one of the repo, use it directly if you like as one of the solutions, but then it should have a permissive license. That would be a suggestion. So if you think there are some kits on Internet of Things wherein you can say remote patient monitoring or something like that, so go ahead and check out if any of these could help for you in in the today's uh, sustainable projects that you are willing to build today during this hackathon. So go and explore Candy to make it more easy for you. You don't have to make the everything from scratch. So that way, it'll be easier for you. You don't have to start your deployment from scratch. You don't have to start coding from scratch.
I think that was all the questions that we have.
Okay.
If anybody else has any questions, OpenWeaver has a channel on our Discord server as well. You can ask your questions over there. They would be happy to answer you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Anmol. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pooja, for such an enlightening and educational session. I'm sure all our attendees learned a great deal about the power of open source and how machine learning and data analytics can be used to leverage and develop more accurate and efficient diagnostic tools that can help healthcare professionals to make better decisions and provide care for their patients. Thank you so much, attendees, for attending this session, and all the best for the hackathon.